Good morning. This is my second episode. I want to talk about not loving ourselves today. This is a really heavy one, but I think it's something everybody needs to hear because I think a lot of us have this, and this is the first step to understanding a lot of our issues. Not loving ourselves looks like it can come in a lot of different packages. It can be from a lot of different reasons. Um, but the discovering you don't love yourself for the first time or hearing it and really realizing it, it's hard. It's very, very hard. The way I realized that I didn't value or love myself was through a bad relationship. So this is my story. I found myself in a very, very, very toxic relationship. I'm not sure how it got to that point. Um, it was great at first, and then it was just like little things, like a little thing, and it led to a very, very bad situation in a very toxic situation. I didn't know or couldn't figure out how it even got there, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of it at the time. I was just really stuck. I was super unhappy and just super stuck. So I started, trying to figure out what I needed to do to remove myself from the situation. Then finally, the time came when I was done. But this is where the real problem started, because I had to sit with myself and I had to ask myself why I allowed that. So this was my catalyst for me to ask the questions and to sit with myself and try to figure out why I would allow something like that to happen. And when I was asking myself, why did you allow that? Why would you allow this? Why would you allow that? And there was this little voice in the back of my head. It was like, you don't love yourself. And I was like, that's crazy. I absolutely love myself. And then the voice was a little louder and it was like, you don't value yourself. And I was like, that's even crazier. Of course I value myself. And then it was like, no, you don't. And so then I had to sit there with that. And, that hurt. It really hit something inside it. It was really, really bad when you are sitting there looking down at the fact that you don't love or value yourself. So I had to admit it. I had to say it out loud. I don't love myself. And I cried and cried and cried. It was worse than the whole breakup. But it was an accumulation of all my life, not just that one situation, but the situation was the catalyst for me to go into this type of thinking or questioning. So from there, I said, okay, I guess this is where we are. So what do I need to do to fix this? And I'm like, what is loving myself? So, I went on the Google and I'm like, what is loving yourself? And it's like, oh, go to the spa, get your hair and nails done. And I'm like, no. I'm like, that is not real self-love. I was looking for authentic, real self-love. Like, what is showing myself that I love myself? And like we always do, and this is a whole nother problem, we always search for answers outside us. We want to Google it, we want to chat GPT it, we want to go get a tarot reading, or we want to go talk to the preacher or our friends or anybody, when everything that we need is in here. Everything we need is in here. So if we stop and calm this down and quiet it down and we sit with ourselves, we are all unique. So nobody outside of you can tell you what you need. You are the only one, and in here is the only one that knows what you need. So if you can take the time and to, just quiet everything down and ask yourself, you will get your answers. So for me, my ways to love myself was, if I didn't want to do something, don't do it. Say, no, come on, get down. Sorry, my cat. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. So boundaries were very important to me. Not trying to people please. Then another one was not letting people hurt me. So if you have people around you that have bad intentions, or people that you don't think truly love you, you got to get them away from you. Don't be around them. Going and hanging out with people that are acquaintances or whatever, that's all damaging, because every time you do something your body knows is not good for you, you're subconsciously telling yourself that certain people doing things to you is okay, whether it's a job, a relationship, a friendship, a family member. When somebody's hurting your feelings and stuff all the time, and you're just taking it, you're literally telling your body that they're more important than you, or the situation is more important than you. And I know you can't get out of every situation. I understand there's, different whatever. But for the most part, if you can, anything that you let, people make fun of you, hurt you, just negative, you need to get away from it. And because all of that is telling your body it's okay. But sorry, my cat jumped up on my lap, so I paused it. She knocked my coffee over. So I kind of lost where I was, but so basically, trying to figure out what self-love meant, and because a lot of what we tolerate, or a lot of what we allow to happen to us, it's from things that we've been through, it's things that we've been taught to accept, and it shows up how we tolerate things, what we stay in, what we think we deserve. So, it really, to sit with yourself and have this honest, raw conversation, it's so, so, so important. So piece by piece, all of the things I mentioned, forming stronger boundaries, and not putting myself in situations where people can hurt me, saying no if I don't want to do something, speaking up for yourself. I started to find a different direction, and you start to find things that are putting you on the right path, and you start to heal. When you start showing, you say no to somebody, your body feels that, and it's like, oh, okay, that feels good. Like, I'm not being put last all the time now. And, just a little bit at a time, like, it really starts to reform your whole life, so just start small. And I'm going to, I have some techniques of like little exercises and stuff I've done. When I was out in Los Angeles, I worked with a lot of different people, doing different like mental health exercises. Some of it was spiritual stuff. Honestly, one of the best things for me was breath work and meditation. Breath work it's just a series of different breathing exercises, but it stimulates your vagus nerve. And your vagus nerve touches every organ in your body. So when it's stimulated, it stimulates all the different areas. And when we have trauma, we hold trauma all different through different areas in our body. So when you stimulate that vagus nerve, it hits certain areas, and you'll be doing breath work and you'll just break out crying. But the crying is the release of all that bad energy in you. So it's very, a very, very powerful tool to help. I'll post some other stuff. I got to get some videos and stuff together. So I hope you guys enjoyed today, and I will see you again. Have a good day.